Hi guys, coming in. Hey there. I'm just going to put our tags in here on the bottom while we're waiting for everybody to get here. And hope you're doing well. We're going to still discuss the trial of the fake Uber driver, Nathaniel, and what happened today. That's going to be in another video. I'm trying to keep everything in their own videos because it's getting too confusing, because I'm looking for something now for someone and I can't find it. And Baby Doe comes in. Baby Doe, if you can ever find me the video where your pineapples are in there, I would so appreciate it if you would let me know which one it is. I'm just one sec. Let me see what one other thing. Okay, save that. Okay, so people are coming in now. Let's see who's here. Nicole Griffith, Dark Swarm, Rosalita Marie, Carolyn Parrish. Good to see you. Alicia, Aurora, Michelle, Kathy. Star Pixie's mom, Carol Clark, Ash Zeno, Mary Beth, Janine, Stacy. The Relentless Pursuit of Shade. You caught another line. Okay. Nicole Griffith, I got you. Judy and Harold. Welcome. I don't think I've ever seen you before. White Wonder, Chelsea, Tina Medley, Fogarty, Jenny from the Hood. You just watched it? Okay. Oh, there's Baby Doe. Baby Doe, you're here. Baby Doe, I have someone really that has to see your pineapples, and I just spent like an hour looking for them. I think it was in July of 2019, but if I can give you one hint, and I think I'm right, I believe it was you. You had a birthday for someone, and you had a pineapple upside down cake. So it would be probably around that date, which I thought was in July. And maybe you could help me narrow that down. If you can find it, that would be so great. Hi, Mrs. McJagger. I haven't seen you in forever. Chewy Gum, Tracy Thomas, Tony Monty, Stacy. Any butterfly? No, I haven't found the butterfly. I don't know where the butterfly is. I have no idea. Let's see, we had a massive storm. After I was out there, got dark. It's been storming ever since I went to go find that creature of the lake. Soon, because the rain stopped, and I said to Jimmy, let's go down there and see if we can find it. As soon as we went out the door, it started torrentially raining again. So I'm going to have to try tomorrow. Nicole, hello there. Hi, Teresa S. Yes, it would be when Jake turned 21. When would that be? What date is that? But what date is his birthday? Because it was in July. If you could narrow that date down for me, then maybe I can have a place to look. You've been watching, not much chatting? Okay, hi Gail B. Hi Margot K. I'm really interested. Yeah. That interview. So hopefully most of you got a chance to see it. I'm good. Okay. No, it was 2019. I know 100% it was 2019. But, I mean, when is his birthday? July what? So I know where to look. Because is it in July? It was August. Okay. Can you tell me about when his birthday is in August so I can narrow it down? I just want to write this down before I go and get my stuff ready. Hi, Sherry. Antoinette. Hi, Michelle Barrow. How are you? Hi, sorry. I just have to get this date from Baby Doe and write this down before I miss it again. What? Hey, Jeanette. She said she did not do anything to... I feel she did not do anything to her. Oh, Jeanette, you're talking about Candus. Okay. July 17th. That really helps. Okay. All right. But you're saying it was August when you showed me the pineapples? Well, see if you can find it, please. All right. Let me... Did you send them to me in pictures, your pineapples? If you did, I don't know if you can do a search of your email and forward it to me again just to show me. Because then, I don't know, I'm just going crazy trying to find it. All right, let me get... Sorry, shares. Okay. Let me go and get my notes. I mailed my notes to myself. Okay, so the first thing, they drive up. You notice lots of dogs. There's lots of debris around, lots of outbuildings. You have the mother's camper, okay. The house, you know, it has parts that are not finished at all. Again, they're living in Tennessee, but... you know, they just have a plywood addition. There's nothing on the plywood. There's no insulation. There's no siding. There's no even the Tyvek or even tar paper. There's nothing on it like that. There are, let's see what else. They focus on the road down through the woods. So they kind of look at it. In the beginning, he doesn't show it to you. He's focusing on the treetops. But there's a road down through the woods, and she said it cuts through, and she said there's a creek that runs through the property. But when she's asked how deep the creek is, she says it's 1 inch deep. You really can't do anything in it. That almost sounds like it's just drainage or something. That's not really a creek, but maybe they call it a creek. And then, let's see. They talk about Summer sleeping against the milk. And... she starts talking about Summer and how she sleeps, that she got her up early that day and she would sleep till 11, even 12 if she let her. So she's trying to say it's not unusual for her to be asleep. She usually gets up much later. I got her up early. She went swimming. It's not unusual that she fell asleep on the way home. And then she talks about those milk jugs. And she said when she dropped off Hunter, they were on Hunter's lap, as he said, and he set them beside a black tote. Then he asked her about the black tote, and she says that that black tote is in her mother's truck, and it's filled with trash. She has trash in it. She fell asleep somewhere on the road coming home, and then Chris asks, is Dawn home now? Again, this interview is from the interview room, and there will be a link. I'll put it in when we're done in the video description if you haven't seen it, but this is what I'm reacting to and talking about, okay? So she says, no, Dawn's not home, okay? And then walk her through when she got home, so walk him through. So she opens the door, she says, and she tells Summer, you know, time to wake up, and she jumps out like it's nothing, jumps up like it's nothing, she said. Then she goes and gets the boys, and she tells the same story she did. They come get the groceries, they sort the groceries, and then she's doing some stuff, and then she points to the camper that her mother lives in. And she says, my mother was sitting on that stoop, you know, and she says to me, we got to get this stuff transplanted. But before that, there's lots of little kittens, lots of dogs. The dogs seem friendly. They're not biting Chris or anything, and she doesn't have to, you know, like fight them off. They seem friendly. They are barking sometimes. Smoky Boots is one of the boys' little cats, she says, and she's got a bunch of kittens. She says she has 7 puppies under the house. Okay, she says people keep dropping off dogs to them. There's the swing is shown. It's one of those monkey type swings, the plastic base, and it's hung on a tree. Okay, and you can see an old school bus and several trucks, vehicles around the yard around, okay. Then Chris mentions, is this the dog trail? And she says, you know, that trail, I don't know why they call it a dog trail. She goes, that trail is actually where the boys ride dirt bikes, and she shows where they ride dirt bikes, okay? And then Chris keeps going to that swing, so she says, you know, Summer liked to swing like all her kids did. And, you know, she doesn't want to talk about the boys right now. Remember that this would be the same day those boys were taken away. And Chris goes into, yeah, I'm not here to judge you, and we're here to help you find Summer. So let's walk, you know, me around what happened. Let's see. So is this when they went in the house? Let me see. Yes. So they go in the house. They said, would you be comfortable letting me in the house at this point? And, you know, you got to hand it to her, okay? She made no apologies at all, okay? No apologies for anything, like, oh, you know, we didn't get to this, or we didn't get to that, or we have so much to do here, you know, we can't get things done, or whatever. There were absolutely no apologies when she walked in that house. And you've got to be pretty confident to do that. You really do. So she walks in, and she says the boys usually sit around that table, and it's a table, there's a TV off in the background. It's like behind cabinets or something. And she says that's where they sit, and that's where they're watching the TV. And let's see. There's a picture right away that Chris points out, and she says that's my sister and her ex-husband. And then Chris says, well, do you think her ex-husband had anything to do with her disappearance? And she said, I can't say if the ex had anything to do with it. And I don't want to talk. She didn't want to talk about it. And then he asked, how was her mother dealing with it? And she says, it's difficult, you know. Okay. So they walk into the first kind of room, and you can see there's bunk beds off in a corner. So there's like one room, and then you walk into, I guess, it looks like the table's there, and then the kitchen looks like it's back over further towards would be on the right. And she says, we went in, we put the groceries down, Mom's sitting on the steps, and she's like, well, and I said, what are you staring at? And she said, well, these plants got to get transplanted. And she said, well, the boys won't help, how about I go get Summer? And Candus says she went in the house, said to Summer, come on, hurry up, we got to go transplant plants over at Grandma's. And she starts showing the cactuses that they transplanted, and starts showing the little rocks that she said they spread around them, and that Summer had put her little Paw Patrol puppies in there, Chase always on the case, and another one, and he told her not to touch them, not to take them out of there. And let's see. Then she says the same story as yesterday. They went in the mother's house. They sat down for a little bit. They got candy, you know. And then Summer wanted to go back to the house, so she shows it's very close. The mother's trailer and the house, it's very close, not more than 50 feet. Okay, so she says that she walked her around, made sure she got into the house, told one of the boys to watch her. And then she says it wasn't long before she went back in the house. And when she went back in the house, the same story again. Asked the boys where she is. They said she was downstairs. And she walked in. Yeah, she walked in. They were sitting at the table. And then, let's see. She tries to take him down these stairs. I don't even understand what that is. They're stairs that are... There's a bar, as he calls it, which you could think of as a counter, okay? And then in the back, it's like, I don't know, it's not, it's like a little hole you go into, and you go down the stairs, and I don't know, Chris didn't even think you could get down there. And she's like, oh, sure, you can get down there. My husband my husband comes down this way. So they went down there, and you could tell he was like a little bit scared of getting stuck in there or something. I would have been too. I would not have went down those stairs. And he said, "Can't we go in through the door?" And she said, because there's a door out the back. And she said something like, "No, it's better to go this way," or something. I don't know. So they go down, and it's very unfinished down there. The ceiling is on just the rafters, up, on top. There's no sheetrock or anything. The ceiling is not finished. I doubt very much it probably even has heat. Maybe it has space heaters. I don't know. I don't even know if they need it in Tennessee or what. It's very, it's got the concrete block walls and stuff. Oh no. Oh my gosh, I thought, okay, hold on 1 second. That's my daughter. So one second. Allie, I'm live right now.
Okay, I just actually
Okay. Oh, wait, just hold on because you're on speaker. You're on my watch.
Okay.
All right, just hang on for a second, okay?
Okay.
All right, wait a second. Sorry about that. Let me make sure you can still hear me. Hold on. Yes, I have to just make sure the mic is still working. Okay, because sometimes when I come back because I can't see the chat or anything now at this point. So when you go down, you saw like a lot of toys. They had a TV, a pretty large TV down there. It was going, and let's see, a bunch of her toys. She was showing. They were kind of censoring a little bit of the toys, and then they saw a bracelet, but you saw, she said, these little dolls. She called them princesses or something. Not mentioning that they were LOL dolls. Showing little bracelets, showing a bunch of her DVDs and stuff. And then there was like a 2x4 set of bunks that were built with like 2x4s, it looked like. And then it just looked, I know Chris also mentioned that it didn't really bother him until he got down there. So I think that it was just not really, where you would, I don't know. I'm not going to say too much. Anyway, she takes him out through the outer door, and I know he said he paid attention to if a 5-year-old could maneuver the lock and stuff, and he said he couldn't make up his mind either way, but she goes out that way. When she goes out that way, she said that Summer sometimes did that. There's like a beaten path right up to the swing, and she would go there. She wouldn't go far from there. She wouldn't do that. Let's see, she would not leave, she said. And she talked about when she has money, she spends it on the kids. And when she went down there to find her that day, she searched under every blanket. She said she searched under the beds. Okay. Then he asked her about a blue thing that was in the yard. It looked like a big, it almost looked like something, I can't think, and you sometimes see them with road crews up here on their cement, and they're big and white, but it was blue. And she said, we put trash in there or something. I don't know if they burned it in there or they just put trash in there. But that's what that was, this big blue thing. And she said that they had a trash man, but he stopped running. That's what it sounded like. But then they were also pointing out a generator that no longer works and hadn't ever worked since she was there, she said, which was out there. There was a lot of scrap metal around. He asked her if they sell the scrap metal. She said no. Showed the open part under the house. Okay, when you come out the basement door, it's like kind of like a crawl space, but it has no doors or anything on it, and it's open, and she said there were 7 puppies in there. Okay. They made a mention of how mellow the dogs were. So, remember when Allie said the dogs would rip anyone apart? It didn't appear that way. Then there's a little shed, and they're looking down at it, and Chris asked her, what is that shed? And she said, well, that's where Donnie keeps his tools. And Chris said, do you mind if I take a look at it? She didn't want him to look at it. He didn't press it. She didn't want him to look at it. Later on, he says maybe Donnie was in there. That's what his thoughts were, because the door was open. Okay. She says, you could go look, but it's a mess. And then she says, well, I don't want you to get hurt. She says she doesn't want the kids to go in there either. And then talking about that path that Summer runs on to go up to the swing, the generator we got, the old school bus. Yes, she rode in that old school bus when she was a little kid. Her mother wanted it. Her mother's idea was to turn it into a camper. Didn't work out. She talks about how they got it. The mother drove the school bus back, and I guess it's been sitting there. Again, you can see a lot of scrap metal, lots of bottles, cans, trash on that road that they're talking about going down, that road that to go down, that it would go on to the I think would lead out to the highway or just a busier road. So, but it's littered. There's a lot of litter on that road, and then you see a lot of drywall buckets with tops on them. So they're probably empty. I don't know. They're all stacked up. You've seen pictures of that. Okay. You can hear the traffic on the road, so it's not far away. You can hear it sounds like a big truck going down, like a semi truck. She said when he asked, the investigators are working hard from her understanding. He asked her about the polygraph. And here's what she said about that. She said the first one, she didn't really take it because they threw her in the back of a police car, squad car, she said. She was very upset and crying. She was hysterical. They brought her down and they wanted to do the polygraph, and they tried, but they could not do it because she was so upset. So she went back in a few days and she took it and she passed, it said. Okay? I don't know what that is. Okay. Asked about a relationship with Hunter. She said, are you crazy? I got a husband and 4 kids I love to death. He's like another child. She said he was kind of telling the truth, but he twisted it up. Okay, so she starts going through, she went to the emergency room, straight to the smoke shop, then the hippie house, then Walgreens, then the swimming hole, then back to Walgreens, and she says priceless. She doesn't mention Sonic this time when she's going through that, but she's doing it kind of quickly. I didn't hear her mention Sonic. She said, give him tea. She says nothing. He asked for Mountain Dew. Okay. He asked, did you give him the tea? And she says, I didn't give him anything. He asked for Mountain Dew. Chris asked, whose orange soda was that in the back seat? She said it was her mother's orange soda. And the candy, she said the candy's been sitting there for forever. Now, remember, Hunter said that the grandmother got the candy for Summer in the priceless. Why was she sitting on a pillow? And she's like, a pillow? And then she's like, oh, well, my mother's very, my mom, I wanted to keep my mom from complaining about the wet bathing suit. She doesn't like it on the seats. So she put a pillow under her. Let's see. So then he says, if there was a suspect, someone that came in here, where do you think they would be? So she starts saying they could be anywhere. They could be where that bus is. She recently found out there was a child molester that lived 8 minutes, literally 8 minutes. You could walk from his house to this house. Okay. And then that was about that for the interview. They show a bunch of pictures, which, is really emotional, of Summer, and then they put a line. Then Chris comes back on to give his thoughts, and this is what he says. He says that Candus was very gracious to him. The minute they started talking from the swimming hole, she immediately picked up where they left off without any hesitation. Okay, when driving up the driveway, he said that Candus pulled over, got out, walked over to the gate that was closed, had a chain. She unlocked it. She threw it into the woods. 5 or 6 dogs immediately came out to his truck. They took off up the hill. There's tons of ruts up on this road. It's pretty rough terrain all around, okay? And he says that the gravel keeps washing down with the rain. So, it's a rough road, kind of. And then he explained you have to turn to the right. It brings you around to the side of the house with the basement as it turns left. Lots of dogs, maybe 13 dogs. Candus shared that people let their dogs just go loose and they congregate up on that hill. He explains it's not his responsibility to interrogate Candus because it's a fluid investigation. Again, he's not an agent for the TBI or anything. This is, right? So he says, are there discrepancies? Of course there are. He said some things can be explained by being in rural Tennessee if people aren't familiar with rural Tennessee. And Candus will correct herself quickly. Some things she was saying tell him there's more to this story. Okay? He has to take a step back. He knows that there are things the TBI and FBI know that none of us know, right? He is not going to fly off the handle and say stuff because he wants to let the facts fall in place, and then we'll all know what's going on. But he did have an aha moment when he asked if he could look in that shed. He had a sinking feeling that Don could be around, and he might be in there when he saw the open door, and he wondered. Okay, he said he didn't find the house in and of itself unusual for country folk in the middle of nowhere. And he wasn't shocked until he went into the basement and saw the way the kids were sleeping and the conditions of the basement. But then he said, when you don't have a lot of things and stuff in the world, you can be in a living situation like that. It doesn't mean because someone's living in a situation like that that they are bad people or that they did anything. Are there red flags? Absolutely. But he's not going to discuss those or what he thinks on YouTube out here. Okay. He said he reminded people that you might have heard a conversation that was muted as they were walking around the house, okay? He said the grandmother is not there. Her trailer is locked up. The bar area, that's what Don calls it, and he talks about that cutout and the stairs that go straight down. He's not convinced that a 5-year-old could open that basement door, and he's not convinced that she couldn't. He just doesn't know. He said the parents had a bed there and the TV was on. Okay. Makes it think that someone's there prior to their arrival, but some people just leave their TVs on. He feels that she might not have a skill set or coping mechanisms to deal with everything. He has his own opinion of that. He's not going to say any more about that, but she could be experiencing guilt, processing guilt. Maybe she didn't watch Summer well enough. Is it an accident? Okay, could she have swung into the tree on that swing? Sometimes parents panic and they do stupid stuff. And maybe there is nothing, he said, because she's out at a prayer vigil now for her daughter. She's signaling all the right things, and mentioned the picture of her sister who's been missing and never been found in the kitchen. And that correlates the statement that she said at the swimming hole about being in the hole twice, being that way twice. He said she had a meltdown at the swimming hole that was kept off camera, that it was edited out. She was hysterical crying. She said, I don't know why God is punishing me. Again, that was not on camera. And he said all he merely did was give her a safe place even if she was involved. And that is that. So not really. I mean, you got to look at where they lived and stuff, but nothing, earth shattering or. But that's it. That you got to look at it, and does it really change things? I don't know. Does it tell us anything much? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think it tells us much of anything else. I think still the FBI and the TBI have much more information on this, and we have to essentially wait, for more information and trust them. And until then, everyone is presumed innocent. So let's see what you guys are saying. Let me see. I'm not sure she grasped how bad the home is. Maybe not, right? Maybe that's what she's used to. And he made it by hard work. Oh, okay, hold on. Sure, Mommy Ramblings, those dogs alerted to Chris being there, and he was with Candus. I'm so tired right now. Okay. Sorry, Tammy, you're tired. Hi all, I just watched the interview and decided to watch it with no sound so I could watch Candus's demeanor and body language. I have to say, despite the messy home and weird setup, I felt she was genuine. Okay, Lloyd. Sandra K said, I noticed that the dogs were not after Chris, right, when he was outside. Right, they weren't after him. They barked like any dogs bark. My dogs will bark if someone comes up here. But then, they usually... I'm sure it would be a different story maybe if Candus wasn't there or he was trying, to do something. Let's see here. The tool shed stood out for you. Oh, thank you, Baby Doe. Thank you so much. Okay. I thought her response about Rose was telling too, refusing to talk about the husband as a suspect. Very interesting to me, Debbie says. Well, it could be that she's afraid that he, I don't know, that he might do something to her if she, it's on YouTube after all, right, for anyone to hear. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess the mother of Summer would not disclose to the reporter what happens in the home for them to lose their child. She didn't want to talk about the boys. She may have talked to him off camera. I don't know. Let's see. The only thing the mother has said was, I'd rather not say. I used to think my mom was one stack of crap away from being a hoarder. She seems like a minimalist now, Robin Lane says. I have the urge to drive there and help organize that kitchen area. OCD. Okay, let's see. I don't know what to think of someone else who supports this channel. I don't know what to think, but someone else who supports this channel said he thinks that there will be arrests sooner than later. Well, very possible. It was dangerously unclean, Teresa said, especially for children. Now I'm going to go make me some flu tea. You have the flu, kitty. I hope you feel better. I got the feeling that possibly that Candus didn't have Dawn's permission to have anyone in the shed. It could be. Hi, Kevin Leonard. I feel she did not do anything to Summer, but I've been wrong before. It's Michelle. Lily says, I completely agree with Sharon Chow. I felt Candus was genuine, and I felt incredibly sad for her. Yeah. Alicia, let's see. Yeah, she didn't seem like to me that she was lying. Yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know. This is a strange case. It is really a strange case. She was like willing and open to, have him in the house like that, have him downstairs like that, have him come around. She apparently, they were at a swimming hole. She didn't know he was going to go back to the house, and he went back to the house, right? He went right back there. I don't know, Someone usually would be like, no, you can't come back, or if they had something to hide, you would think, but I think this family is very practiced in hiding secrets and personal ones. That makes it a bit harder to decipher for me. I wonder what police would say about the polygraph. They may lie about passing it. She could be. You don't know, right? Ethel says, pondering the last case where witnesses were on such different pages. Let's see. Summer's mother put it out a restraining order against John, but yet she still kept drunk around. Gwendolyn says she said Sonic. Did she say it? Okay, then she said it quickly. I only was able to watch it one time. Okay, Jen. Okay, yeah, thanks, Gwendolyn. That's fine. Candus seemed genuine to me. Okay, so said that about the pillow too. Wet bathing suit. Yes, he did. I truly believe Candus. Sandy Hill says, dear Lord, please bring back Summer safe and sound. Amen. She could be protecting her husband. It could be so many things. Correct. Could be. Let's see. I don't think I could pass a polygraph ever, even if I was completely innocent. Let's see. It's a bit silly to have a mom on patrol shirt when she lost her kids. I don't watch, but then again, I don't think. Well, somebody made her the shirt, and I'm sure she doesn't. I'm sure she really misses her kids. The men cutting trees that week. I think they are genuinely shady, deceitful, and are very good at creating narratives. Okay. I'm leaning toward an abduction too. I'm thinking that maybe perhaps, I talked to someone today, and maybe perhaps someone from their church, or someone, best case scenario is someone took her that thought she should have a better life, felt that she needed a better life, or even, given what the stepsister said about Don trying to sell the 2-year-old that time, what if they did, to someone at the church, at least, for not for trafficking or anything, but just to have a little girl, then that would be a better thing. She'd be in a safe place, right? So, I'd like to think that, being that they're not finding like blood, or she doesn't even seem worried about that in the house. Like if something happened, I would think if something happened there, I think she would be more nervous. So maybe, there is a chance Summer's still out there somewhere in some, or what, I don't know. I'd like to at least think she might be somewhere alive, right? You loved his approach with Candus and the way he was relating to Summer, right? I don't know if I am correct. Nicole says, but I am quite perceptive when it comes to these things. I do not think Candus had anything to do with it. I have said this from the beginning. Hack Me said, does anyone think abduction is possible? I kind of do. Yeah. Did you? Okay. Let's see. If the parents had the fear of the kids being taken away, could someone have hidden somewhere? I family already had experience of Rosie being taken from them. Now I stayed with the one I had manager. Okay. Hello, Carolyn. Hi, Renee. Old sub here. I love your content. Just remain silent most of the time. Is that Renee W? Or is just Renee? I feel Candus is genuine. I feel sorry for her. They do the best with what they've got. My dad was the same about his tools. No way Candus would have harmed Sarah. It's obvious she adores Summer. Melmac said the case is tough. So many changing timelines from early on. I give up trying to figure it out. I just pray the law enforcement, TBI, FBI have GPS, data on vehicles, cell phones. Hopefully these things will be rewarding. It's all they have. You make the best with what you can. Okay, I think abduction is possible. I really think she wanted Summer. Let's see. I believe it's someone Summer knew. I think it's just as possible as parents being involved, covering up an accident or fear of losing their other kids, Susan says. The parents need support and lots of prayer, y'all. Of course, yes. To hide the child would only bring attention, and parents know this. I think Candus and Don were easy targets for bad people because I don't think they are treated well. No roadblock early on. Okay, let's see what else. Why did the grandmother leave her daughter at this time? I don't know. Somebody was saying she had to go, she had to get her back cleared. She had to go somewhere. I think someone in authority said they did not think this was an abduction. Candus and Dawn. Well, let's see. Pamela said, since the dogs lost the scent at the bottom of the driveway, I wonder if Summer ever went to the mailbox. There's another thing, cutting wood, maybe not harmed. Would be great right now. I want everything tested till nothing left was excluded. Okay. Was Dawn creeping? The basement was bad. They have newer vehicles and spend their money. Cigarettes, dope, more about poor lifestyle choices instead of being poor. Usually the most simple answer is the correct answer. It's not impossible for her to have been kidnapped. The fact that everyone is going for the family now really says something. I just want to know why Candus said she threw her phone in Dawn's truck. Maybe her phone was all smashed up. I don't know. Maybe they questioned why she didn't call from her phone. I don't know. Is that true? She tried to sell her? No, Antoinette, he tried to sell his oldest son in his first marriage, according to his stepsister Mary. I went over that in an interview reaction. Let's see. What's that about a phone? But yeah, that's what she said, Renee. She said that when she was recanting Summer going missing, she said she had her phone and she had to call 911, and she mentions throwing her phone in a truck bed and then getting her mother's phone because that's like the only one that had reception or something, but that didn't make sense because it made it sound like she had just used her phone. I don't know. Let's see. Yes, there. What, Jeanette? Her phone didn't have reception. Her mother's phone was used. That's what she said, but she makes it sound like she called Dawn from her phone. not her mother's phone, which is strange. Gee, we lived in the country when I was a little kid. If city and urban folks think this is normal country living, that's... Well, I think he means like, not country living, but I don't know, I think, yeah. That's a huge red flag about Dawn. If anyone had abducted my sons when they went through the hoodie wearing moody age, they would have dropped them back within a day. I was a bit confused. Okay, someone could have come through the door to the basement. But I mean, she was at her mother's. I mean, they would have seen somebody drive up. I would think the dogs would bark. She would look out if she was just at her mother's, you know. It's not far away. Her mother's trailer as opposed to the house. And there's a long driveway. So is someone walking on foot that she doesn't see and the dogs don't bark, that she would even look out and say, like, who's there? I don't know. So I'm wondering, yeah. You can't call 911 from her phone. Her mom had an AT&T phone. Why can she make other calls from her phone, Julie? That was unclean living. Gambler says, didn't Candus say only her mother's phone? She did say that, but why? Why? In rural Tennessee, the cell phone service is so limited. The only phone, right, but she makes it, whose phone was she calling? Remember when she said before that she was calling Don at work and telling him she couldn't find Summer, right? So what phone was she using then? She makes it sound like she was using her phone. That's what I'm saying. She doesn't make it clear that she's using, she didn't say I ran to my mother's to call Don and then call 911. She says something about calling Dawn, then throwing her phone in the truck bed, then going to her mother's. The people killing their child, I don't believe this woman did that at all. Did something happen? She may be panicked. Yeah, could be. I think someone that knows them definitely is involved, but why? Renee says, it is done, that statement. Yeah, well, but I think that's what I mean. He's not going to ask her about that because he is not an agent for the TBI or law enforcement. You know, he's just doesn't want to, I think, even dive into that sort of stuff from what I get. The Wells seem to have enough money for vaping. Thanks for recapping. I appreciate. You're welcome, Ethel Mertz. I wonder how I wonder if she was worried about sketchy service. I have horrible cell phone service that drops. It could be. It could be. Yeah. As she drove off without a phone for tracking. So she drove off without a phone for tracking. So is that what you're saying? That she put it in the truck bed and when she got in her place? When she said she couldn't wait and she started driving around, you're saying she didn't have a phone for tracking? Or calls made while out to arrange anything by any of them? I'd be checking. She had to call 911 with her mom's. She had AT&T picked up better. Where was the door that Summer could access? The basement door, she said. The basement door. Rural cell was spotty and can vary for each phone. Well, yeah, I mean, we have rural service here too. I am sure I developed this is true. She was a sweet, loving 5-year-old girl who seemed like she needed more attention. I think someone parked, walked up, coerced her out, and the precious little thing knew them, and so she went. I still don't get why an attorney would ever have them talking, even if they were innocent. I'm sure the cops have searched their phones. If we've learned anything. She said she had official business. Remember at the lake, so that would have been like Monday or Tuesday. She had an official business or something to do. I don't know. Dawn had said, let me check something else. Hold on, let me check something about if he's made any new types of posts today. Let me just see here. I'm just trying to say something. Up there. So there is pictures of the prayer. I think this is from the prayer vigil. So let me see. She looks pretty distraught here. Let's see if I can get this up. So now I guess she's just wearing the shirt again because the interview was taken when? It was taken during the weekend, right? Saturday or Sunday. And so I guess she put it on for, here's another picture, in order to okay, so apparently, let me see when this was posted. Okay, so Dawn Wells made a post, okay? And it says, I'm not allowed to talk any longer. Summer Moon, I love you with all my heart forever. What is that about? So apparently Candus had court of some kind today. That's what she said, and it was, I guess, the juvenile court for the kids. Someone said that there was a rumor circulating that Candus would have to leave Dawn to get the kids back, but it's only a rumor. And here is something about them attending court. So let me see here what this is about. All right, so we've got an article here from major news station. Let's see, this is News Channel 11, WJHL. And it says that the parents of missing 5-year-old Summer, hold on one second, my thing is jumping, appeared in juvenile court in Hawkins County for a hearing on Tuesday afternoon. Hold on, let me move this up. Come on. My thing is jumping. I apologize. It's not cooperating with me. See the article. It's jumping all over the place. Stop. So News Channel 11 spoke with Donald and Candus outside the courthouse shortly after 1 p.m. Candus said off camera that her sons had been in the custody of the Department of Child Protective Services since late last week. Over the weekend, she said the same. Donald said the same when he was on a podcast. Candus said she did not want to say why the other children had been removed from the home. According to Candus, they have hired an attorney. Don Wells said that his other children are safer now that they're in DCPS custody, but he did not elaborate or specify how. Candus told the news station that the disappearance of her daughter Summer is a completely separate situation than what has led to the involvement of Children's Services. Court documents were unavailable due to the age of the juveniles involved. The Hawkins County clerk said no new paperwork had been filed related to either Candus or Dawn. Summer, okay, let's see. So that's, we see that. And now we have that Facebook post. Oh my gosh, come on, you scared me. Let's see. So we have that Facebook post, and then let's see if they have anything else. Truth is, he was told not to talk. He most likely shouldn't have posted it. He probably realized. Okay, so okay. Okay, so so I don't know what's up with that. So he made that post, and I think, let's see, 2 hours ago, somebody posted, what are they having the third prayer circle for Summer was happening at Borden Park in Kingsport. Summer's mother was there, as well as her Sunday school, Sabbath school teacher. Let's see. Is going on. Just trying to see if there's any other posts from him, except that he can't speak with his daughter right now or anyone. I mean, he can't speak with anyone right now. And then, I love you to my daughter. Let me read that again, what he said. Okay, so I'm not allowed to talk any longer. Summer Moon, I love you with all of my heart. With all my heart forever. Okay. And let's see what else anyone is saying here. But yet he's still talking, someone said. Yeah. Okay, so let me go back to the chat here. I'm going to see one thing. All right. Some people are going off on really strange tangents in there. Okay. So let me look at the chat and see. Where you guys are. I personally know a person who passed a lie detector test and is guilty. Why do people put so much faith in them? I don't know. Juanita, how are you? These poor boys must be frightened and confused that something bad will happen to them too. My husband wants to know if that David guy was ever cleared, the guy from church. I don't know anything about that. Don talked to you, yeah. And he said it's his fault because he relapsed. Yeah, I went over that, Athena, in another video. Let's see. You'll be watching for hand court signals. I see it, and it's just not right, like scoping out the reeling before it goes on furiously. Okay. What does it say? It was a trick. The new Candus and Dawn would lose it over summer, and they wanted to get those kids out so they could question them. They don't care about their well-being. What? What was the trick? Maybe it just depends upon her outlook, whether she's feeling optimistic. And laughed when Jose knocked Summer to the ground. Or Josie, when he was on a Ferris wheel. He calls her young lady sketchy. I think there was a terrible accident that was handled badly, and Candus is showing many symptoms of PTSD, not because she harmed Summer, but may have seen her and is trying to cover up. I don't know. Why is she not saying anything about the other kids? She did. They didn't want to talk about it. I don't think she could talk about it, maybe because of the court action. She didn't want to talk about it. Candus panicked and hit her body. Candus shows all the signs of being an opioid addict. They fired Don up by making a rumor, and it worked. Don got out of control, and now TBI can ask the boys questions with parents present. Oh, is that what you're saying? No offense to anyone speaking in tongues, laying hands that some churches all do here. She also posted TikToks and fun music to where the kids playing at the park. My kid was missing, and I didn't know where to look. The last thing on my mind would be posting fun TikTok videos. Okay. Thank you, Debbie Schwenke. I have absolutely nothing on this. No gut feelings. I just feel, yeah, me too. 911 can be called on any phone. That's true. Yeah, you can always have an emergency even if your phone is turned off. Mary said, I think she's numb. I think something unintentional happened to prevent Vancouver in. And when I say I don't feel deceit, I mean major deceit. I just don't think she's capable of intentionally harming Summer, but do feel there's a cover-up in play. Sorry, says, aren't we old? Even OCD, sensitivity, bright lights, and food intolerance are now on the spectrum. There had been workers in the opposite houses, but through the thinner woods. The picture, yes, was from today's vigil, yes. Wanted to say hello to everyone. Hi, Nana times 3. I wouldn't change. I probably couldn't even shower if all my kids were gone. Sure, Jessica. And it could be something special shirt she would want to wear, you know. Right? She could have easily washed it. I know a lot of people think that people can't, quickly wash something and wear it again. That's the vigil, yeah. Debbie says CPS usually will follow after criminal. Criminal is beyond a reasonable doubt. CPS is a preponderance of the evidence, aka a single grain of sand above 50%. This isn't a neighborhood. It's very isolated. Don't believe. There are families living in huge, expensive mansions where the children are abused, living in misery. The home should not be stereotyped. Some poor people have the richest, simple lives. The order of protection against Don was over his abuse when he found Jose, Allison's love interest, at the home, right? Allie and Candus's beef has muddied the waters in this. I think the boys are sound. They will see past the attention and maybe get past this. The adult sister has not yet, and he cannot get past till, and was named Josie, named after, say, what, Margaret? There's a guy in my town. Well, they say that they don't hold up in court. Okay. So it makes me sad she was there alone, especially if she has to be alone all day. Yeah, I mean, okay, does anybody want to call in about this? I mean, I can put the number. Does anybody want to call in about this that saw this? And could you please read your comments in a louder voice? I listen at night, and sometimes you read comments under your breath almost. Okay. All right, Shamrock, I will try that. At this point, a good criminal defense attorney would get any evidence obtained during a lie detector test thrown out. A judge can always rule anyway in the court, Mamie says. It's not the poverty, Teresa S. says, it's the dangerous mess. Kathy said, then there would be a known person, not a stranger. My point is it's more likely it would be someone from family, friends, or acquaintances. That percent, according to Tim Miller, is far less to be a stranger. Tim Miller from EquiSearch. Thank you, Tammy. Love you, Carolyn and the mod, Ramblers and the mods. Kubi, are you the dude? Look like a lady that kicked her knee. Got me thinking. Kubi, are you the dude? Look like a lady that kicked her knee in. Got me thinking. What? Kathy, I'm just saying we should not dismiss the possibility of kidnapping. All causes are equally valid until there's evidence proving one scenario over the other. Renee says, thank you, Carolyn and mods, for truly keeping it classy in here. I feel terrible for Candus and the children, and there are some channels where the subs are brutal. This is always a nice room. Great job. Thank you, Renee. Tic Tac says, I feel like one of the strongest emotional responses we got in today's interview was when she was asked about a relationship with the 15-year-old boy. Aim says, now Robin Lane, I'm a firm believer in when it's my time to go, I'm going to go wherever I am. I refuse to live in fear. Marie says it's a kidnapping scam, just like Shannon Matthews' case. Money donations, GoFundMe reward. How can the boys be home cleaning at work and Don? It's possible. What do you mean, Tammy? What perks are you not getting? We just had the movie night. What perks are you not getting? Is it just water park? Am I understanding correctly? Candus is from Utah and Allie from New York. Neither originally from around there. No, I don't know where Candus is from. Dawn's from Utah. Dawn's from Utah. She'll be. And then he went back, and I thought he met Candus back this way. But then I think they have ties in Wisconsin. She's from Wisconsin. That's what it is. Isn't it Wisconsin or Wyoming? One with the W. That's where her sister went missing. I do have a part about the sister. And that's, I think, where the mother is now. I believe it's Wisconsin, right? Dawn is from Utah. I believe Kansas is from Wisconsin and Arkansas. I don't know about Allie. Oh, thanks, Snoopy. Michelle K. says body language and behavior are also admissible as circumstantial evidence. Shelley says, I don't want to make assumptions about what happened. I just hope and pray they find that baby girl alive. Yeah, me too. I thought it was confirmed that Kent... I think she is, yes, from Wisconsin. Grandma Candy was mentioned. Shall we not? Because I said... What, Margaret? Love your channel, Gwendolyn. Thank you, Gwendolyn. Anna, Sweden. So did anybody want to call in? I don't see anybody saying that. They want to. Renee says, believe me, I wasn't as sympathetic a few days ago. Chris really helped show Candus as a person. He gave us a chance to really hear her out. Yeah. Deborah says, looking, so far something unintentional happened. According to her, Nana 3 says, oh, I'm stuck. Somewhere, can anyone else see me? I can see you, Nana times 3. What's going on with Kubi? I don't even see what's going on with Kubi. What's happening? Kubi has been very compassionate towards Candus. I cannot say the same about your comments towards Kubi. Kathy Ellison said she took lots of pictures. Candus did. Bengal Cat said you would think her grandma would be there to support her daughter. Kubi said, if you knew what I was talking about, the knee injury that has been shared online is not making fun of her. Debbie says, I like to think of my perk as knowing I am supporting content which I love. Quality and well thought out crafts, cooking, Loch Ness Monster. What more can you ask? Thank you so much, Debbie. I'm sorry, y'all. My nerves are shot. I just can't do half of this, so I'll talk to you later tonight. Love you. Love you, Tammy. Good night. Shari says, I see you. Nana. You're too shy to call in, maybe in the future. You can't see other text? Nana, you can't. Make sure you're pulling the chat down. You don't see the chat, you mean? You're typing somewhere and you don't see it? Refresh. Refresh your screen. You're going out and coming back in? Crystal says, that being said, I don't jump to conclusions of blaming the parents. Okay, Michelle K says, Crystal, I 100% agree. You can now? Good. Okay. Flyer B says, prayers for Summer, her brothers. CW and DW, yes, of course. I'm about to lose connection, Gambler says. I'm walking back home from the grocery store. Takes me a minute to get in my Wi-Fi range. Okay. Did you want to call in? Kathy Allison says prayers for Summer Moon, Utah Wells. Yeah, we'll get to Molly Tibbetts, and we're also going to get to the trial from today, the closing arguments. I still have to do those, and I still have to do that. This is about Summer Wells. I'm trying to keep everything in its own place. Hi, Erica. Would love to call in, but your hubby's in bed for work. Easily distracted said. Ethel says, off topic, I miss Lisa D. She's still around. She's just got a lot going on. She'll be back. She can't get her sleep schedule right. She's still around. Queen Bee. You've missed a lot, Queen Bee. I think you'd have to rewind. I went over the interview that the interview room did, well, that they aired today. And they actually did it, not yesterday, I think the day before. I think they did it on Saturday. Yeah. Wake Up says, reveal Summer to the searches we ask. Yes, absolutely. Off topic. The judge was wonderful. He was wonderful. Yes, he was. He was. Sending love and light to Summer and her family. So does anybody have anything to say about Summer? Anyone? Why don't we hear about local volunteers searching? Because I don't think they want local volunteers. They have EquiSearch that came in, EquiSearch Midwest. I think they didn't want. Sometimes they don't want local people searching. Sometimes it's a matter of not putting more information out there, and they didn't even want anybody following them around. I guess also due to social media, there could be stuff getting out they don't want out. Summer Moon. So they don't have all because of, and the terrain. Yeah, the terrain is pretty treacherous and somebody can get hurt as well. But they also don't want areas out that they are searching. That's what they said last weekend. Yes, Lord, cover and protect and reveal her location. Yes, wake up. Prayers that Summer will be found soon. Yes, Buttercup says, I watched the interview. I just get a gut feeling there's more to the story. Oh, of course, there's more to the story, yeah. Dangerous terrain too, Kubi says. Love you all, Tammy says. Love you too. How old is Candus and Don? Candus, I believe, is 39, and Don was born in 1964, so he is, what does that make him? 50, what is it, 64, 67, 57? I think he's going to be 57 she was saying that born in the fall. He's going to be 57. For some reason, I believe C more than H. Yeah, me too. I think I do too. The terrain is so bad, how would an untrained person get Summer out of there? Good point, Hacked Me, huh? Mm-hmm. We don't know that it was an untrained person, though, right? We don't know anything about what happened. I mean, you can just guess. No, I think she said, Gwendolyn, according to his stepsister, I thought she said they were both born in 1964. And she gave their birthdays, and they were in the fall, like a month apart. If they were born in 1964, he would be 56, going to be 57. Still not even for certain if Dad was on the property at the time. Yeah, we don't even know, right? Kiefer Sutherland, not sure what that was about. You have a patient platform. Unfortunate, I feel some troll type responses. Next time, good night. Yes, more to it. Good night, Margaret. To Summer, if you are here on earth, and then we pray that you are alive and in safe hands, and if you are in heaven, then you are in the safest and most loving arms possible. What did you say there? We have never met you, but we love you. Yes, thank you, Voight, for saying that. Let's see. Yeah, 56 turning 57, if that, if she is indeed right. You were born in 62. What do you think about the fact that, what do I think about it? It could just be an unfortunate coincidence. Her sister was not a child. Her sister was married mother when she went missing. There could be a lot of other factors. I don't think it's related to this at all. I don't think there's any I think it's just an unfortunate thing that two people went missing, just like maybe somebody will have two children that pass and they have nothing to do with one another, or, I think it's just an unfortunate situation, that's all. I would say, if it was a little child, there's not a lot of similarities at all in the cases. I did go over the disappearance of her sister in another video with all the information, and it doesn't sound, at all the same. Where is your no troll patrol partner? No troll partner. What? Time for some air popcorn. Candus feels God is punishing her. Yeah, I did say that. She did break down and say that. Such a shame. Social media is more abuse to accuse people than to find people. This is why your channel is the best. Thank you, Easily Distracted. Buttercup says, I know he asked about the shed, and she said that's Dawn's shop, but then again, she said I wouldn't let my kids go in there, so that made me question about that. Yeah, Buttercups. What's the chances of that? 1 in a trillion. I don't know. Because let's just say her sister was a grown woman who went missing when she went out. There could be a lot of reasons why she went missing at that time. There were, there could be a lot of reasons she's gone, and it could have nothing to do with Candus's family at all. You know what I'm saying? Because she was a grown woman. Let's just even say it was the ex-husband or somebody around there, or just a serial killer, whatever. How would that's, what I mean? That doesn't really, I don't think so. Can anyone tell me, have the boys been interviewed? We don't know, Norma. We don't have any information on that. Supposedly they were last to see her. Yeah, I'm sure that maybe someone is doing that with them. Of course, the 13-year-old probably, at least, yeah. Yeah, she did refer to her in the past. To who? To Summer? She did at sometimes, and sometimes she doesn't. Just asking for statistics. I don't know. I mean, two missing people in a family makes me think someone associated with their family or someone who knows them might be responsible. I mean, there's a lot of time. This is, just too much of a coincidence. I don't know. 21-year-old could have run off to another country with another man. Not saying she did, but that possibility doesn't exist with a 5-year-old, so different cases. Yeah, absolutely. Luffy. Do not forget to leave. The boys were removed. Yes, Vanessa. They were. They were removed. Matter of fact, my ex was part of a SWAT team that went into Columbine High School. I know law enforcement when I hear them. Totally different state too, Kathy. Yeah, I can't think right now, but there have been cases where really bizarre things have happened to the same family. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if there's anything in 2 minutes without a sound. Let me see. The dogs do seem to bark when a stranger arrives, yes. So maybe an abductor was feeding the dogs to keep them quiet, as Candus suggested. So does that mean planned abduction? Well, it doesn't mean anything. Right now, we don't know anything. We're not privy to a lot of information that law enforcement, FBI, TBI have. You're a retired New York State child protective, started off working for Fulton County CPS in New York State. Lucky enough to work with my dad. Oh, that's nice, Debbie. Jimmy, could you lower that, please? Thank you. I was reading some comments about this case just now, and I was listening, and the conspiracies are rampant. Oh, they are. Such a shame. People waste brain power on stuff that leads nowhere at all. I think it's that people are so used to instant gratification, and they don't understand the progression of a case, and that you just have to wait, and you are not going to know everything. Okay, you're not at all. Okay, there's so much that we don't know. And in any case, so gotta wait. And I think when people can't wait, they rather speculate and conspiracy, whatever, make up something, anything, just to keep talking. Because I think people just can't wait. Can even close up with the cameras. Oh, thanks, Tammy. See here. No, the perp would have to approach the property before feeding the dog, so I'm not buying it, Renee said. Someone hiding in the basement, Kathy Allison says. We should never know what police know. And exactly, Debbie. The dogs didn't bark that much, CJ says. There are many falsehoods being put out. Yes, there always are in these cases. Nathaniel, how many dogs could they feed all at once? Once they'd finish eating, they would most likely follow. I'm pretty sure the Londoner says that Summer was abducted. The dogs were very quiet, Nana times 3 said. Mimi says Summer seems like she's a tough kid. I would imagine she would scream and fight if a stranger accosted her. Phil said Samuel Olsen case took a minute, hoping Summer doesn't fall. That was different though, Samuel Olsen, because that's what I'm saying. There was surveillance camera and stuff that caught things already. And she lied immediately, in a lie that could be proven in Samuel Wilson. She said that the mother came along with someone that looked like a police officer, but it was very easy to verify the mother did not come to pick her up. Now, how had Candus said something like that, it could be verified. That's different. A very different case. Very different case. It's like saying, Barry Morphew took so long to be arrested, whereas Chris Watts was arrested, just about immediately. And, Some cases take longer. They do. Doesn't mean they're falling through the cracks. It means that they want to make sure they have a, airtight dotted I's and crossed T's. I think if it was someone somewhere she knew, she definitely would go with them. She seemed like she didn't meet a stranger. My nephew by marriage was shot and killed. Finally got an indictment on the man that was arrested in June. It takes time. I'm sorry to hear that, Gwendolyn. Let's see. Peridot Eyes. That's who I was going to ask about. There she is. I said, where's Peridot Eyes? I thought about that yesterday, and then I couldn't remember today. Nice to see you. Let's see. Candus, Sandy case. If Candus and her mother were at her mother's house, why would they not hear the dogs when Chris was there? Yeah, the mother's camper trailer was very close to the house. Tony, you're talking about the guy that was drunk and his wife would kick him out. Is that the one you're talking about? You had a super busy week? Okay. People need to remember no news can mean good news. Correct. Sorry, I think one. Fact that this is an open investigation. The public knows a lot of information. Social media is blowing up everybody's minds. Are racing because there's a chance anyone's theory could be right. The reason I asked if Kansas was on the spectrum was because she was wearing a shirt that said Mom Patrol. Well, no, someone made that for her. He didn't leave the bar by himself. Oh, you're talking about another case. Two Scooter? I don't know where Two Scooter is. She's probably doing something. But I think if no one's going to call in, we'll end this here. I will be back in a little bit with to talk about the trial. And there was something else. The trial and I'll the Molly Tibbet stuff. All right, but I'm going to leave this to Summer Wells, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit, all right? I'll be on a little later. Everybody take it easy. All right? You find one thing weird. Anna says, I still do not think Candace followed Summer to the door. No way. Could be. We don't know, right? All right, I will see you guys later. Love you. Prayers for all, and God bless. I'll talk to you later. Okay? See you later.